What's going on, guys? Me and Jamie went to go see Assassin's Creed last night. It was an obscure time, which will become apparent in the review. Basically, I'm going to do this one review. Obviously, spoiler section afterwards, but I'll tell you when it's coming. But realistically, there's not much to spoil. It's not that good of a film. It's average at best, action flick / thriller, I would say. It's just a wasted opportunity really with Fassbender and the cast that they had. It just didn't deliver. I've seen some reviews saying if you are not Assassin's Creed fan, you don't know anything about it, that you could like it as a standalone film. I don't necessarily think that's true, because even as a standalone film where you just completely out, you don't know anything about the Assassin's Creed universe, there are bits that just don't make sense, even for people that know about the lore and story. And it just wasn't that good. For instance, like Jeremy Irons' character, it sort of felt to me that he was filming Batman, Justice League or something like that in the other room, and they said, "Oh, Jeremy, just come through a second. We just need you to stand in a window pane and look moody," and they just got him to do that. Some characters like Brendan Gleeson's character. Wasted opportunity there as well. Fassbender does his best to portray this character, which, to be fair, I like the Callum Lynch character with Aguilar, who's his Spanish Inquisition era ancestor, which is basically the premise. He's on death row. They fake his death, take him to Abstergo in Madrid, and put him into the Animus to try and find the Apple of Eden. Standard affair for a standalone Assassin's Creed story, which is fair enough. They change a few things around from the lore. Nothing too much that would anger hardcore fans, I don't think. They probably does in some ways, but I mean, besides the cast, there's obviously Marion. What's her name? Marion. Oh, we're fed up. Cotillard. Yeah. She's good in it as a sort of. I'm not going to say love interest, but sort of not quite antagonist. But she's sort of the grey zone. You have obviously Jeremy Irons' character, sort of the Abstergo head boss, and he's the sort of obviously the sort of villainous shrouded shadow man, and you've got Fassbender and his Callum Lynch character being the sort of anti-hero protagonist. He's portrayed sort of, and we know he murders someone, and that's why he's in jail, but on death row. But it's sort of still a grey area, which is quite good. I like that kind of dynamic with the grey-areaed characters. But apart from that, story-wise, simple. It cuts back and forth through Aguilar and Callum Lynch. Throughout it, they show the bleeding effect, things like that, that are familiar to Assassin's Creed fans. They revamp the Animus that you've seen from the games, which I really like. It's like an arm, as you've seen from the trailers, and it shows him moving around. Which this actually ties in one of the gripes I have. Obviously not tied to the story. Is the action. The action's really good in it. I like it. The action, the fight sequences are really choreographed, really nice, and they're quite nice and fast-paced. Sometimes you can't tell what's going on in the first part of the film. There's a sequence that I feel that the editor got a bit trigger happy with the cutting tool, because there's cuts all over the place and it's kind of distracting, and there's some bits running through the marketplace like you see in the trailers that I think were made for sort of a 3D. They're kind of a bit jarring the way that it looks, but the action's quite fast-paced. It's quite good action sequences, sword fights. But the gripe I have is that it shows Callum Lynch outside the Animus in present day, and you can see him swinging around, moving, using his assassin's blades. But they show it too much. It just needed to show once or twice, just so we know, oh yeah, once he jumps off something, he actually jumps forward and the thing jumps in forward. That's all we need to see. You don't have to keep cutting back and forth. It's so annoying, and it takes you out of it. It just annoyed me that it just cut up the action a little bit, in my opinion. But I mean, apart from that, action was good. I can't even say the music, because there was no. I was hoping that even the intro to the film was going to be class, sort of like this same sort of thing with Assassin's Creed, where they have a nice vista shot with the Ezio's family playing that track with the logo coming up, just as a nod to the games. And I just think that's a better kind of intro than what they did. The intro was just a bit un-Assassin's Creedy, which is a silly way of saying it, but it's kind of what it is. Apart from that, characters were sort of forgettable. Even the other assassins, prisoners that are in the Abstergo Industries research lab, forgettable. You don't really learn much about Callum Lynch's character, for say, which sort of leads me to when they say there's going to be other films, that I guess they're going to be as other films. Hopefully not, but they might be. Music, yeah, like I said. Even CGI, some bits were a bit obviously CGI, like some of the flips, some of the movements. It was a bit, it took you out of it a little bit. So positives are action, story negative. It's not enough to carry this as a film. It's very disappointing. This probably, I would say, it's more coherent with the story of Assassin's Creed than, say, Resident Evil, but is nowhere near as probably as engaging as a Resident Evil film, and that's saying a lot. Overall, I would say average. I mean, if I was going to give it a mark, 5, 6 out of 10, maybe. You know, I would say a rent, or wait for it to be on DVD, possibly Netflix, who knows. And that's because you get on Meerkat and you're really bored, and you can go sit at the cinema. But don't pay full price. Don't pay full price with a 3D ticket either, because you're going to be paying extra for those glasses, and it's not worth it. So, yeah. So that's it for the non-spoiler section. You've got my verdict. Jamie's verdict is virtually the same. Wasn't the best. So yeah. So now, warning, spoilers. Doesn't really matter, but here they are. I'm going to cut right into the bit that pissed me off the most. Was there's a bit at the end which basically they just had Callum Lynch in the middle of the Animus, and like all his ancestors appeared round, and they were all wearing different uniforms, like different areas. Oh, awesome! And it's like all they've done is got Fassbender and put like a different moustache on him, added a bit of another bit of beard or a bit of moustache. Right, now you're 1920s Fassbender, okay? All right, 1845 Fassbender. Put another bit of moustache on there, a bit of goatee going on. It's hilarious, and it's where he talks to his mum, and that's what suddenly changes him from going from wanting to shut down the Assassin Order to helping them destroy the Templars. That didn't make sense. It would have been better if it was Minerva talking to him, like in the games where she talks to Desmond. But if they did it through Aguilar, if they did it through him, like I don't know what could happen. He could have opened the apple or something. He was seeing it. Minerva appeared to him, and it seemed for a minute she was talking to Aguilar, and then she could turn her head and look directly at the camera, and then start talking to Callum, and then it could have been like, from the outside perspective, they could have been like, what's going on? And it's just like saying malfunction or something like that, and they're like, oh my god, the Animus is breaking, what's happening? It's just her just stood there talking, and that's what could have sort of turned him to sort of think, right, so they need to stop them with the apple, it's really dangerous. Just a bit more like that. I mean, I was discussing this with Jamie. I'd have been happy if never going to happen, or wouldn't have happened, but because they've had a break from Assassin's Creed last year, it would have been better if they just said this is the prologue to the new Assassin's Creed game with Fassbender as the main character. I would have enjoyed that, because I think it's just wasted. Like, he would be a very good character to play in a game sense. If they didn't do this film and say Fassbender as a main character in the next Assassin's Creed game, that would have been a winning formula. But I don't know. I know what the plans are going to be. If they make another one, they better do a better job of it. It would have been better if they did it if they moved on to a game. They could do a modern day one, or they could have just scrapped the whole thing and done Japan. I don't know. It just wasn't good. It's not going to save the gaming film franchise thing. It's not. It's nothing that's going to do it. It's going to. If anything, this has damaged it. This is pushing it to the fore of the fact there's never going to be a Halo film, and other video game movies like Last of Us and all that stuff. This is going to sort of make them wary of doing this, because it just doesn't seem to be working. And I don't know why it's failing. They need to either do it so it's sort of connected to the games but not quite, or lead into a game or something along those lines, something that it's tied in but not too much to annoy people. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I think I could have done a better job with the Assassin's Creed film, personally. I could have written it better. Was there anything else that annoyed me? Oh yeah, another thing that annoys me, Brendan Gleeson's character, his dad gets the Assassin's Blade. Why did they leave him with the Assassin's Blade? They leave him in the room with the Assassin's Blade. And he's just a wasted character all around. I mean, what the hell? It's just pointless. And then, I don't know, like, the end scene, the ending bit at the end was just rushed and just seemed really out of place. It could have... Jamie disagrees with this because he says it's too ambiguous. It would have been better, in my opinion, that all the security guards are running to that room and they're getting all the weapons, and he says, "What do we do now?" And he just goes, "Fight." And then they could have ended it of them all bursting the room, and it could have been ended with Callum Lynch just drawing that bow and then firing it, and that could have been the end, because it leaves it ambiguous. Like, did they get it out? Did they not? Do something like that. But no, the end of it just seemed rushed, and then I don't know. There's not really much more to say. I'd have like loads of theories or something, but it just didn't interest me that much as a film. I mean, it just wasn't that. It just was average, forgettable, and it's really sad. It was really sad. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but hopefully one day they'll get it right and they make it better, I guess. But until that time, I'll see you guys next time. What other film we watch? Probably, I don't know what's coming out soon. I need to double check, but I think we want to watch Baywatch just because. Wolverine, Logan, obviously. Maybe Live by Night. Is it Live by Night or Live by Day? Live by Night. Yeah, loads of Kong. Loads of films coming out to take this sour taste out of our mouths. So until that time, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good week.